What is something you secretly enjoy?
Sorry? One more
Secretly enjoy.
About what?
I don't know.
About
What
just
do you do for
everything.
fun, but you wouldn't say,
Travel?
but something you wouldn't say to someone you know, only to stranger, because you are worried to
I
be
think
judged.
I think just doing nothing, and maybe it's not cool to do nothing for fun. Just staying at home, doing nothing. Staying the holiday at home, laying on the bed. Because I don't think it's cool if you tell this to someone, because you're supposed, everyone want to hear like, oh, I travel a lot and I do this, I'm very active. And if you say, oh, I don't do anything, they think you're boring. But I think it's actually okay.
But wouldn't you say that it's big luxury to be able to do nothing?
Oh, that's a good question. I think actually yes. I mean, either you don't have work and you don't have money and you do nothing, or you're working and then you probably don't have time. Yeah, it's actually, I think it's actually
So that shouldn't be
luxury.
something to be ashamed for,
Yeah,
because
that's true.
when you
Okay,
think
you're
about
right.
it, people who do nothing are either those who don't need anything or already have everything.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So your secret hobby is actually,
Doing nothing.
yeah, that makes you.
Like, sitting on the weekend, spending the weekend on my own in the flat, reading, not going to party or something like this.
You don't like partying?
Sometimes I do, but sometimes I like.
Do you like to be rather alone or with other people?
I think it depends. Sometimes I need my space, but sometimes I would like to share, for example, I'm traveling this week alone. The next week I will meet some people who will come. And I think it's a pity that I cannot share, like, if I see something cool, there are no people I can share it with. But sometimes I think it's okay to be alone. For me, it's okay. I'm happy with everything.
Aren't you afraid to be alone?
No, not at all. I can travel alone. I've traveled to Indonesia alone, so it's okay. I can go alone to a restaurant. It doesn't matter.
Restaurants aren't dangerous,
I
but
don't feel like strange when I'm going alone to the restaurant and sit alone. I think it's actually quite cool.
so is it cool to be able to be alone and
I
still
think,
have fun?
yeah. Actually, I love being alone. I like to spend time by myself. I'm never bored by myself.
What is something you are proud of yourself?
I'm proud of myself. I think the first one that I can travel alone. Like, a lot of friends of mine, it's sunny, very sunny. A lot of friends of mine, they cannot travel alone because they're scared. They think it's a lot of responsibility. You have to care about everything, about the flights, about the accommodation alone. There's no one else to help you. I think it's actually quite cool. I can do it. And what I'm proud, I moved to Germany for studies, and I've studied medicine, and I'm a doctor right now, so I'm really proud of it.
No, that's cool.
That's cool, yeah.
So if you get injured on your travels, you can
Oh,
help yourself.
I don't think I can just help myself. I think I will still have to go to the hospital, but I think as a doctor, I'm afraid of food poisoning, for example. I don't think it's nice in
So no
Thailand.
street food market?
No, I do, but on the big markets, like not this strange small street food, but on the big markets.
So
I
you
did.
don't believe that
You-
it
you
would
know-
improve your immunity if you eat something?
Oh, I don't think. Maybe if you've been to Thailand 10 times, already had like 3 times food poisoning, maybe you will be okay with it. But actually, I think I would be okay with it, but I don't want to have it. So,
Did you ever get seriously injured?
no, thanks God, no.
What is some of your opinions or
About?
opinion that you hold really deeply, but most people disagree with you?
Disagree with me. Oh,
But you are not
that's-
willing to change that opinion,
That's
even
a
though you are
very,
alone.
That's a very provocative question.
That's the point.
like, okay, I maybe don't share the like, okay, it's not like I don't share. As you know, I come from Belarus, so this situation with Ukraine and this war, like, I don't always support this hate towards the Russians, towards the normal people, because you get judged when you are Russian. It doesn't matter if you live in Russia, if you don't support the war, you get judged. And I don't think that everything you see in the media in Europe, it's 100% true.
What do you think it is about people that war is omnipresent during the entire history of the humanity?
What do you mean?
What makes us so prone to start wars?
Oh, I think
Because
money, the effort. I think that the reason for all the wars is just the fight for the money, for the power, unfortunately.
it was there even before money.
Then for the territory, like
So resources.
acquire resources, the ground, the minerals.
So would you say is scarcity mindset and fear that pushes us towards violence?
I think, yeah, I think partly yes. I think many people are just scared, and if you're the best strategy, if you're scared, is to start the fight as first. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like sometimes if
Best
you're
defense
scared,
is offense.
defense, like you make it first before you get injured. I think actually the most people don't want war, and we are not. The normal people don't decide about the war. I think it's the politics and the rich people who influence the government of big countries like United States and Russia, China. So I don't think that the normal people really have influence on this.
Is there something that makes you violent?
Me? No, I don't think.
Something that makes
Angry,
you just
maybe.
angry?
Angry, but not violent. Angry. I think when I got, okay, maybe on myself, if I am, for example, too late, or if I pass the train, or maybe if I didn't meet a deadline, for the tasks I had to, so I get angered on myself. And from the people, maybe the people who don't understand, no, if you say you don't want something and they just persist offering this, so like annoying people.
So what do you hate in yourself compared to what do you hate in other people? Or are those the same?
It's the same as I said. Like, I'm not punctual. I'm not a person who doing something in advance. Like, I do everything nearly the last day. For example, I booked this flight to Bangkok 3 days before the flight, so I didn't play anything, zero. I just booked the flight, and then I went to Bangkok and spent something like 4 hours in the airport because I had to book the accommodation. So I don't like it on myself that I cannot really plan things in advance. And about the other people, I think people who are cruel to animals, who can injure an animal, who throw a dog, for example, because they don't like it anymore.
And would you say opposite is true, that if someone is good to animals and animals respond well to them, is it sign of a good
I
person?
think yes, mostly. But I know some people actually who are very in love with animals, but they hate people. Like, they didn't do anything bad to people, but they just don't like people.
Do you think animals can sense something that people cannot?
Yeah, 100%. I also think that they can sense if you're a good person or not.
How do you define good person?
It's someone who doesn't want to do anything bad to another people, like who wants peace for everyone and respect other people.
Do you believe in God?
Yeah, I do.
Do you have official religion?
No.
So how do you define God?
I've been Christian, but I left there. Like I made this official leaving the church. I believe in God, but I don't believe in the church.
So how do you define your belief in God?
I think there is. I don't think it's something like a person, or I think it can be just a belief that there is something that influence your life and you cannot control it. Maybe for some people it's kind of spirit, maybe it's not a person, spirit, or a guardian angel, something like this.
Do you think it could be put into words? Or we can just feel it?
I think we can feel it. We cannot put it. For me, I don't think that, like, I'm not sure that God is a person, I think maybe it's a spirit.
What makes you feel special?
Me, I love myself, so it's a very provocative question.
It's not many people. It's not something many people would say. So
Really? No, I really like myself. If
you always did.
Sometimes, no, I think not.
So what happened?
I think when I was a teenager, maybe 15, but it's for everyone the same. Like, you don't like yourself when you are a teen. I think I just appreciate what I've reached and what kind of person I am. Yeah, I am really proud of myself and I value myself. So
Does that translate in your life by doing good for others also? Do you think, like, by loving yourself you are able to love others more?
I think, yeah, because you cannot. There is a nice opinion that you can only give something good to other people when you are good to yourself. You have to learn to love yourself, and then in the first place.
Have you experienced love before you loved yourself?
You mean the normal love, like to a guy or something like this?
Could be to a guy, could be to a dog, could be to a family member.
I think, yeah, I did.
So you didn't have to love yourself.
Okay. No, I think you can love another person more if you first love yourself, because you have to know you well. So you have to know that you are able to do a lot of things. Otherwise, maybe you will have problem in the relationship if you don't like yourself, because you got manipulated. Maybe. Okay, maybe it's another. It's about the relationship with a partner. Maybe it's different about the parents or the sister, brother.
So do you think each kind of love is qualitatively different?
I think, yeah.
And
because you love your parents unconditionally, like you love them because they're your parents. At least me. But when it comes to a partner, you have to love him or her for some reasons. Like, it's not just without explanation.
But do you think, like, if your parents did something really terrible, you might not cease to love them entirely, but your love could diminish?
I think I will still love them.
But the same way?
It depends what you mean for. Maybe I will try to understand when they did this way. I would try to understand it more in comparison if there was no my parents, but some other people. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I would be more tolerant against the situation, towards the situation.
So it's always context dependent.
It depends, yeah. There is nothing absolute. I think it always depends on circumstances. There are no rules for the same. That you cannot say I will do this way or another way, because we are not. They are machines or robots.
Do you think there is a limit to how deep love can go, or it could be?
I think, yeah.
So there is finite units of love that could you express?
I think you don't have to. You don't have to lose yourself in the love. I think you still have to put yourself first. It depends it has to be mutual, take and give. So if one is more taken and another
But you
one
can
is
also
more
love
giving,
yourself. But do you think you could keep
unconditionally,
increasing love for yourself forever?
I'm not sure. I think everyone has crisis in their lifetime. So sometimes we don't like ourselves, but mostly
So it will
it's just a
fluctuate.
past. Sometimes I'm not a robot, so I'm a person. So
Where do you think love comes from?
a different kind of love. As I said to parents, I think it's unconditional. To the partner, if you vibe on the same level, if you have the same interests, if you have both respect each other and treat each other good.
What is something you tend to think before you fall asleep?
Actually, I fall asleep really fast. Mostly, I don't think about anything. Like I fall asleep mostly in 3 minutes. I'm a kind of person who never has problems with falling asleep. I think about it, nothing actually. Really,
Good.
I swear.
Which part of the day do you enjoy most?
Morning,
Why?
because I have the whole day ahead. I have to wake up early because I'm a doctor and I start working at half 8 in the morning, and so I wake up at 6. And on weekends as well. I like waking up early actually because you have the whole day
So
ahead.
do you like that open space of opportunity before you?
Yeah.
And what are you thinking during your walks?
About while doing walks, about planning my week or my day or what I'm going to do next. Just random stuff. Depends on the day.
Can you guess how long we have been talking?
I mean 15 minutes. 15?
Are you good at guessing when it comes to the time?
No. And what was the right answer?
17.
17. Okay, really.
Can you guess
Really?
what time it is?
I think, let me know. I think it's
Look at the sun.
2.
Look at the sun.
I think it's 2 p.m. Something like this.
Almost.
Almost. Okay.
In 15 minutes.
Okay. Well, I was nearly right.
Nearly. Doesn't count.
So counts. It's just 15 minutes.
Oh. 15 minutes can be a lot of time.
Uh,
You are a doctor, you should
yeah.
know that.
No, I know. Yeah, I know that. But yeah. Even 1 minute is a lot of time. If you cross the street and get hit by the bus or by the car, it's just only 1 minute that either saved your life or just
You don't
made
have to
you.
tell me that.
Okay, I know.